What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the RockyMounts Monorail 3-bike rack. So this is going to be a platform style bike rack. The bikes are going to sit there and be held by the tires, so no frame contact. So that's definitely a plus for a bunch of different style of bikes you want to take with you. Let's check it out. With it holding the bikes by the wheels via these hooks, it really opens it up for a bunch of different style bikes, like I said before. Now, what I meant by that would be road bikes. Those are usually carbon fiber, so you don't want to bring a hook down on the frame that could damage it. So it's great that it's on the wheel. For example, our mountain bike here in the middle actually has a carbon frame, and we wouldn't want to do that to that. We wouldn't want to damage it. So it's nice that we don't have to try and figure out how to get around doing that. It's holding by the wheels, so it's not really a problem. And then road bikes, mountain bikes, even fat tire bikes fit on this. It comes with the attachment to lengthen the strap, so it's ready to go right out of the box. I really like that because usually that's something you have to buy separately, and that's a whole other thing you'd have to order. I'm glad that it's all in there, so whatever bike you have, you can just throw it on here and get going. A few things I think about when looking at a platform style bike rack is where the wheel hooks are going to be. So we've already established it's got the wheel hooks. Those are awesome, but I like that they're on the side because sometimes they have them right here in the center, and that can kind of be in the way when you go to load or unload the bikes. It is kind of a pain sometimes to, especially multiple bikes, to go around the center here, put in place, bring the hook down. I like that they're on the sides on this one for convenience. Another good thing to think about for convenience would be how does it tilt away? That's a big thing a lot of people like about the platform style bike racks because you got it all loaded up. This is a 3-bike. Sometimes you get a 4-bike. That's a lot of bikes in the way, and when you realize that you forgot to throw something in the back hatch, or you need to get something out of there real quick, you don't want to have to unload all those bikes. So this one's a little tricky because it is underneath over here, so it's not right here at the end, so that's a little troublesome to get there. You're gonna have to get under the bike rack, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that now. I'm gonna put one hand holding up on the platform bike rack, the other one's gonna pull the handle. It's gonna tilt away with me. I wanna be aware of the pedals on the way down too, so I've kind of pushed them to the side, and as it comes down, you can see it's kind of angled right on me. I'm gonna stay down here. This is tilted all the way. I'll put my hands back here. So I did have to be careful of the pedal right here and the bike. So if I stand up right here, I'll be fine. But watch out if you're over to the left a little bit more for the handlebars. With the bike still the way, I can pop open the back hatch and get whatever cargo I forgot to grab or whatever I want to throw back in there. When it comes to bringing it back up, you can go 2 different ways. You can grab just the bike rack itself and lift up here. You can grab this and the frame and lift it up. It's a little bit easier. Then the handle will snap into place. I saw it and heard it, so I know that the bike rack's not going to fall back down. Let's look at how the bike is attached. Look, there's the back wheel cradle here. It's got the strap that ratchets down. You can pull that tight. You'll hear it ratchet as you pull through there. We got the blue button. You push on that, it will release the strap, so you can pull it back through there. And then we'll go up front to the wheel cradle, because this is the order you're going to want to do it when you go to remove a bike. You want to do the wheel strap first and then the hook. So then the hook is on the tire. We're going to push this blue trigger here. That's going to release it. We can slide that up and then push it out of the way. So that's pretty easy to release the bike. You don't have to pull any pins or move anything like you do in some of the other platform style bike racks. So you can just lift up and set it aside. With the bike removed, we can take a better look at the cradle. You see it's got this center groove that's going to work great with road bikes. It gets a little bit bigger here for mountain tire bikes, and then it gets even bigger for fat tire bikes. When you get that strap that's included on the other side, you'll put that on this end to make sure this extends and goes around that tire. But again, really like that that's included because you can just throw it on there and get going. The wheel cradle, with its size, can accept a bike tire of width of 5 inches, and in combination with the back wheel cradle that's adjustable, you can adjust for wheelbases up to 48 inches. The tire stop can also be folded down when not in use. We'll just push that down like that, and it gets pretty condensed. So we can also bring the other hook up and over here. So you're just hooking it under the wheel cradle, and then it's all nice and neat. We're going to take off the other 2 bikes in a similar fashion. The middle one's not a big problem. The one that's last can be a little cumbersome sometimes when you have to lift up or to set it in place or to reach all the way out there to get it and pull it out. But again, I like that there's not a center bar in the way because that just makes it harder to have to go around something. I like that you can pull it right out. Another platform style rack that comes to mind that is a little bit easier with unloading would be the Kuat Transfer. That one's got like a U-shaped design. And that's going to be easier to just step right up in the middle and grab the bikes. It also has a better pedal to tilt away because you're just going to kick it with your foot. So that's easier than getting under there and trying to reach for the handle. You can kind of kick a foot out to get that to lower it down. We get to the last bike, I can reach and grab it from there and then lift it off. I would suggest coming from the side right here. It's going to be less cumbersome than doing it all the way from the end. So under the wheel strap like we did, then the hook, and I can just walk it off the side. Let's get some measurements real quick. So we're going from the center of the hitch pin to the furthest out point on the bike rack. So once we get right there at the center, we'll look out here. This portion sticks out the most. So it looks like it's about 47 inches away from the back of your vehicle. That's something you want to keep in mind, that it's adding that extra space back there, especially if you have a backup camera. If you have the bikes on there, it's probably going to be interfering with that and getting in the way. So just try and use your rear view mirror the best you can to see around those bikes, and remember that it's back there because you don't want to back anything in a tight space. See how close it is to the back of the vehicle too. We'll go to the center of the hitch pin once more time. Looks like it's about 11 inches. This is going to be the closest point right here. The next measurement we're going to get is ground clearance. So we'll go from the ground to the bottom of the bike rack. While this could change on how tall your vehicle is or how low your hitch sits or what kind of ground you're on, but from where we are right now, it looks like it's going to be about 27 inches from the ground to the bottom of the bike rack. So that's plenty of space. It's got that rise in the shank that's going to help you out. So you shouldn't have to worry about those street driveways or hills going up and down those and bottoming out. You can save some space with this platform style bike rack by folding up to the vehicle. Just come higher to the handle they use to tilt it away. So just pull out on that again, and instead of going down, you just push it up. Again, it snaps into place, so you know it's locked and it's not going to go anywhere. Now let's get a measurement from here. So again, center of the hitch pin hole, the furthest out point. So that's going to be about here, and that's going to be 17 inches. So quite a bit less, but still, remember it's back here when you're backing up. Every little bit counts when you have limited space in your garage, your parking spot. Another cool thing about the monorail is if you don't use all three bikes all the time, you can actually remove this section. Just remove these bolts, pop this off, put this back here as a stop, and then it's just a regular 2-bike design. So if that's something, maybe you bought the 3-bike, you don't use it all the time, you just rather have 2, you can pop this off and save a little space too. The monorail has the black powder coat finish on it, and it's going to have a steel and aluminum construction, so you can leave it on the back of your vehicle. It can get rained on, the elements aren't going to bother it, it's not going to rust or corrode. I know that mine lives on the back of my vehicle. I don't have space for it in the apartment, and it has no signs of rust or corrosion on there. It actually doesn't seem to be bothered by the elements at all. Coming down here towards the hitch, you're going to see the lock here. There's 2 locks that are key to like, so only 1 key is what you need to unlock both of those. This one's going to be for the cable lock, so you'll attach it to this end. You're going to run through your bikes. That way your bikes are locked up and secure when you're not around. If we look up towards the hitch, it's going to fit 2-inch by 2-inch hitches. Got an anti-rattle bolt and a lock up here. Same key unlocks this one. This is just going to lock the bike rack to the hitch so that nobody can mess with that when you're not around either. And the anti-rattle really takes that shake and play out. You see, you can shake the whole vehicle back and forth. There's not rattling or movement here in the hitch, so that means it's not going to transfer your bikes either. We're back in our parking lot. We're going to go over our test course. A lot of our bumps are taken up today, but there are still a few of them open that we can hit. Just watch the bikes back there and see how they handle the speed bumps. Looks like it bounced up and down just a little bit. There's a little bit of movement on the bikes, but not too bad. They all stayed in place, and that's what the important thing is. Not bad. Now we can go to the portion of our parking lot where we can go a little bit faster and take some turns. Go up to the front of the parking lot up here. Just keep an eye on it as we're going uphill. Shifts around a little bit. It is a 3-bike bike rack, so it does extend a bit from the back of your vehicle, so you are going to have a little bit of movement with those. Looks like they stayed in place. Overall, this is a good 3-bike bike rack. I like how easy it is to load up or unload it. The monorail It's easy to use with the hooks that goes on the wheels. Like, it opens it up for many other different types of bikes, so it doesn't limit you at all. The fat tire bike strap in there is definitely an addition that I like. It's something you don't have to order separately. It's all good to go when you get it. The only thing that I didn't really like was how far back the handle is when you do have to tilt away the 3 bikes. But if you don't do the 3 bikes all the time, it's only every once in a while, you can even remove this part and just go to a 2 bike and be done with it. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out and hope this helped.